When you say marketing analytics, most folks will immediately think of Google Analytics,
Yeah,
GA4. And I feel like that's changing a little bit because a lot of folks are trying to find ways to move off of GA4. But when you
yeah,
mention product analytics, um, a lot of folks are familiar with the Mixpanels and the Amplitudes of the world. You're kind of like calling both of them together, marketing and product analytics. And I find that interesting because we at my last couple startups, and I've seen this with some clients too. Part of the journey of getting off of GA is really asking yourself, like, do we need a tool to track what our users are doing in the product and what our users are doing on the site? Like, these are just two different devices. Could we just
yeah.
have one platform that does both of those things?
Yes,
And so I've seen a lot of companies use Mixpanel and Amplitude for both web events
yes,
and product events. Is that kinda how you're seeing it? You're just building and bridging product and marketing for one tool to do analytics?
yes, yes, exactly. So I believe there is in like certain industries or certain segment of companies that for them essentially the two things are almost the same.
Yeah.
Um, Typically imagine like travel, e-commerce, advertising businesses where you want to have, where you actually have a huge volume of visitors or users, you name it. They come into their application and they basically exit in some funnel, but they maybe come in later again, well, half a year later. But what's your goal as a company is to maximize the number of visitors to this application you're having. Um, let's focus on like travel industry, like imagine kayak, search engine or Google Flights. Um, the goal of these applications is to find as many users as possible, visitors that come to the application and search for flights and book through Kayak, Google Search, and Google Flights uh, uh, through the application. Um, but itself, these applications, Kayak, and let's say Google Flight Search is a product that has to work very well. The funnels has to be like maximized to the best conversion rates. There shouldn't be a
Mhm.
drop off in any of these steps. If there is a drop off in like one of the steps when you buy like book a ticket, then there is a problem and you are losing customers. On the other hand, the marketing side is like you maximize the number of visitors. That's the marketing problem, like to bring it to the application. So top of the funnel, basically, you want to maximize the number of visitors top of the funnel, but they also should go through the application efficiently and exit positively, essentially. So in my head, this is the product and marketing problem is one thing for certain industries.
Right. Yeah, in the B2B world where it's, like, heavy sales, inbound motion, then you also have a CRM at play there,
Yep.
but, still maybe the product is still being used, like, a lot of the times it's a SaaS tool, and you still wanna connect and stitch that data together, especially from an activation standpoint, like the marketing automation team or the lifecycle team that's trying to, like, kick off onboarding campaigns or do something with
Yep.
product data, matching that with where they came in and stuff like it just makes a ton of sense to have event-based analytics
Oh
for
yeah.
web and product just being one tool
Yep.
together.
Yeah.
But you're doing this a bit differently too on top of the warehouse. So instead of
Yes.
like having a database that's copying all the users that you probably already have in the CRM, you already have in the marketing automation platform, and you already have in your CDP or in your data warehouse, you're basically not creating a new copy of that database. You are just living on top of the warehouse instance where you said data lakes also, and you're just querying that data. Does that make
Yes.
sense? Like, do I have that
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Okay.
essentially, what we do is automatically generating SQL queries on top of existing infrastructure. Then those SQL queries are the typical, if you think of like segmentation, if you are familiar with Amplitude, funnels, journey, retention calculations, A/B testing, evaluation. So this is what we do, but with automated SQL queries. And to be fair, why we started to do this is we've seen that after a certain stage in any business, essentially, you reach a point when you need to centralize your data anyway. You need to have all your data anyway in a central location. And as I mentioned, we are working mostly for large data sets and product and marketing analytics. This kind of really makes sense not to copy that large data set away
Right.
to 2 or 3 places. You mentioned Castle.io with Arun. I assume they had the same feeling, and when you talked, that was probably the same problem they are solving. Why are you moving all this data that you already have in your data warehouse to different tools, synchronizing between different tools? And that's actually just, like this in my world, it is kind of a waste.
Mhm.
And often actually impossible. This is what we as well see.
Yeah.
That at some point you reach a scale that your data becomes so large, the volume of data becomes so large that you cannot move it away.